Is Wendy Williams being taken advantage of and depleted by her supervisory group? In the new months, I believed constantly in Wendy's craving to be back with another task. Yet, as per her sibling Tommy, who as of late saw Wendy during their unforeseen family gathering, she is essentially not prepared for hard and concentrated worker chiefs heap her with Tommy Williams, focused on the terrifying state of his sister's well-being, and blamed her creation group in involving Wendy as a popular device for evaluations. So it appears as though bolters are circumnavigating around the renowned television. Have once more yet, doesn't she get any opportunity for recuperation? How about we dive into the subtleties? Hey everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live Station. I keep my eyes on the most examined occasions in Broadway and continuously present to you the most sizzling updates. So we've all been worried about Wendy Williams close to home and actual prosperity for some time now. And it appears as though there is really something to stress over. Obviously, Wendy's new gathering with her family was utilized as a guise of making one more episode of her show. And that is the reason Wendy's more youthful sibling Tommy pummeled the creation group for dismissing his sister's miserable condition to bring in cash on her name. Tommy opened up to the U.S. child in his restrictive video interview about Wendy's new visit to Florida over the long Easter weekend, and how her creation group recorded one more episode of her supposed show regardless of Wendy's center state of her supposed show, in spite of Wendy's unfortunate state of brain, as it was uncovered before the popular television divot truly made a beeline for Miami for quite far to visit with her alienated family. And she truly got together with her father and sibling. Yet as it turned out, the tranquil family day and a boat trip were truly arranged in light of the fact that there were loads of outsiders ready in cameras, shooting everything as it was accounted for by an insider, besides the fact that Wendy's camera team along for was the excursion, yet the principal partners in the undertaking were with her too. And it appears as though they have a lot of film for their show. Yet that wasn't the finish of the story, on the grounds that one more video taken by Tommy Williams, posted on Facebook, showed Wendy purportedly sleeping on a boat close by her dad and sibling, basically what it resembled in light of the fact that Wendy was sitting unmoving with her eyes shut, which doesn't plainly relate to the climate. Tommy tended to the camera and said thanks to everybody for the requests and the warm words anyway. Later, he posted another video where he hammered Wendy's supervisory crew and blamed them for taking advantage of his sister and demolishing her well-being by taking her all over the place and making her posture for cameras, folks, on the off chance that I recollect accurately. This was whenever Wendy first has visited her family in Florida, starting from the beginning of her concerns. And evidently they had expected one more kind or get-together, without outsiders pushing cameras into their countenances. And in particular, it was whenever Tommy first saw his sister face-to-face after recovery and kid. As per him, seeing her was genuinely alarming. She fails to see what's going on, and he, director, will in any case be pawning her around, making statements like travel here, movement there. How about we go bring in this cash? As Tommy genuinely tended to Wendy's group in his video interview after this day. For what reason are you even here? Do you even here? Do you see the condition she's in? Does it seem as though she's prepared to begin a digital broadcast for the love? It doesn't. Tommy Williams didn't conceal his displeasure, and he clarified that Wendy was unquestionably maneuvered toward making this excursion on the grounds that during the entire day she looked muddled and confused. He added, "This isn't a lady who is in the right temper to get a show rolling." Wendy's baffled sibling called her ongoing condition miserable and added that she's in chronic frailty. Well, the television was seen at different areas in the new 2 or 3 months. And as per the observers, she was not looking or putting her best foot forward. There were consistently cameras around her and numerous recordings showing Wendy gripping to the vehicles, or her protector's arms surfaced on the virtual entertainment. And this is one of the reports about her backslide began to circle in light of the fact that many individuals saw that Wendy didn't look herself, and presently her own sibling affirmed that such a hurricane shooting plan appeared to harm his sister state considerably more, as per Tommy, who has gone through the entire end of the week, watching his sister intently. She isn't in her sound psyche to come to any conclusions about her normal exercises, and her supervisory group utilizes it for their potential benefit, hauling the television postponement, starting with one state, then onto the next, and pushing cameras into her face. Tommy closed this time. Individuals have been kicking her around. She can't be pondering, since she can't thoroughly consider it, so others are thoroughly considering things for her. As all of you realize, the previous moderator has experienced a progression of individual and expert lows over the most recent few years, which all began with her untidy separation with Kevin Hunter. And clearly she is still making progress toward turning into that old-fashioned Wendy we, as a whole, knew anyway. As Tommy referenced, it's probably not going to happen in light of the fact that with the ongoing timetable and the speed of her movements, she is probably going to wind up in a clinic, or far and away more terrible, because of fatigue. While it's all honorable and extremely kind coming from Tommy, certain individuals accept that he was just seeking after his own plan in the story, and pined for fleeting encounter with notoriety for him, and expected to stand out as truly newsworthy again. As one individual composed, "Tommy gets on my damn nerves. He is really savage genuine." Yet the reality stays unaltered, as opposed to seeing their number one moderator returning to her feet. Fans need to observe how her life and condition just deteriorate with each new film. And evidently her creation group, which prodded the crowd with different strange ventures, is utilizing Wendy's longing to be back on television as a guise to make her work past her capacities, disregarding Wendy's actual necessities. As one individual composed, "Parasites, wherever the vast majority don't have your well-being on a basic level, their main concern is sucking you dry." Well, right now, it doesn't seem as though Wendy is encircled by individuals who care about her prosperity. And obviously, the previous television diva isn't camera prepared by any means, and must be back under the consideration of her child. And perhaps 2 or 3 months in the wake of remaining in recovery, Wendy shocked everybody by declaring her quick rebound. And she, to be sure, was seen in New York City with her recording group dealing with a baffling task, as Wendy's rep Sean Zanotti shared with the media. Returning to what she cherishes is something vital to her. Yes, Wendy is shooting. Yes, she is preparing for something, and the particulars of that can't be unveiled at this point. Well, that was a seriously obscure clarification, and we've heard a ton of statements from this delegate as of now, which anyway brought about nothing. I thoroughly persuade Wendy's craving to be back in the business. Yet apparently she doesn't have an idea of what's happening and aimlessly adheres to the directions of her team. It's never been a mysterious that the business is horrible, yet folks taking advantage of the individual who has put in 2 or 3 months in recovery, in a real sense battling for her life, and making her work. This is another meaning of monstrosity. Wendy has been off-screen for several years at this point, and the expectation of her fans is colossal. Clearly, certain individuals in the business know how to involve this in their benefit, and get all that to crush additional cash flow from Wendy's name. In addition to, I realize that she is anxious to return to work herself, and there are likewise hypotheses that she is desperate, since that occurrence with Wells Fargo that froze her millions and designated her a monetary watchman. Indeed, Wendy's life has been loaded with dull streaks in the news several years, and I don't get why certain people accept that they can drive her to accomplish something she isn't prepared for. You all the way that hard it was for Wendy to defeat her concerns in late 2022. She burned through 2 months in a Malibu recovery, treating extreme liquor addiction. And everybody accepted that the host passed on this office a renewed individual, prepared to set out a clear-headed way in her life anyway. Beginning February, the media detonated with titles about Wendy's various public episodes, including liquor. And think about what Wendy's rep again concocted a reason saying that this pub crawling was arranged. And Wendy realizes her cute off points. Well, that is not what individuals answer to the media. And it appears as though Wendy's group is attempting to conceal some reality about her land. Wendy has a background marked by liquor misuse, and assuming the bits of gossip are valid, she really wants assistance of individuals who care about Wendy. And not her lucrative abilities. As Tommy said, I can't fault Wendy for anything, I believe. That she should get better, she isn't better, so I can't be distraught at her for any of this, and folks, I surmise on the off chance that it were to Wendy's sibling, we couldn't ever have gained reality. After this close-to-home disclosure from Tommy, and his own video from that boat released, web-based fans communicated their interests about Wendy's condition.